I'm Kara Ray, founder of the Powerful and Uncensored Entrepreneurs. I'm a mother, stepmother to 3 beautiful children. I'm a wife and a proud entrepreneur. I'm a mindset coach specifically for the powerful and ambitious online female entrepreneurs who desire to create wealth and abundance in all areas of their life. The Powerful and Uncensored Mompreneur podcast is for the ambitious women and mothers who are ready to rise together and empower one another. Get plugged in each week for unfiltered and uncensored conversations between myself and industry leaders who are here to support you. They have unwavering points of views and empower women to believe in themselves. We will be discussing business, spirituality, sexuality, energy, strong points of views, manifestation, and what I like to call breaking the stigma topics, conversations that will no longer be silenced. This is a safe place to reclaim your power of being a woman. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Powerful and Uncensored Mompreneur podcast. So today I have my husband, Chris Ray, on the podcast. Please say hello.
Hello.
So it was a little bit of an adventure getting this all set up. We are currently just like hanging out in our bedroom, but no, he had to be all up in my space. So today, Chris and I are just going to have a very open conversation about what it's like.
You hope so.
Being married. Oh my goodness. Being married to an entrepreneur, and also just embracing the fact that I'm an entrepreneur. He loves his job, like his 9 to 5. It absolutely lights him up, and we hold space for each other in that regard. So first, Chris, he asked me this. He's like, "Are you gonna ask me what I'm celebrating?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course I'm gonna ask you what you're celebrating. That is like the question." So, Chris, what are you celebrating in your business and personal life?
Yeah, in my business, I'm celebrating that I'm currently making some slides to help train the adjusters that work for our insurance company. So it's kind of nice to be able to teach them a few things. And personal life, I am celebrating 90 some days till the birth of our son. So
yeah, 91
days. So it's kind of celebrating that, and summertime, and bring on the storms, I guess.
Well, and our daughter's birthday is in
Oh, yeah, true. Our daughter's birthday is Sunday.
Did you forget?
A little bit.
I actually was just doing a podcast interview about how women sometimes we like to multitask, and how men like to single task. And so I would love for you to share your opinion on how I'm a multitasker and how you cope.
Well, you multitask by asking me to do 4 things by the time I'm even done doing one.
Accurate. Yeah.
So, no, I just as I understand that her mind works a lot faster than mine. So,
well, not necessarily.
no, just differently, I guess. But no, I just I cope with it by getting my stuff done and trying to remember what the first one was when she says the 4th one. So
I wish you guys could see his face when I give him like this to-do list of things to do, where he just looks at me like, "Are you fucking kidding?" And so anyways, so, Chris, what has been the biggest learning curve for you in regards to being like in a relationship, in a marriage with a woman such as myself, who is an entrepreneur, who is extremely creative, who kind of flies by the seat of her pants sometimes? Like how...
But that likes things organized sometimes too.
Yes. And I love organization. So what has been the biggest learning curve for you?
Getting my stuff done. No, just trying to give you your space, and I don't know, just supporting all the different whims you have, because like you said too, like you support me in my 9 to 5, so
Yeah.
it's just like helping create the time, because no, yeah, like before it was just kind of 9 to 5, and then whatever was after, but now it's you were work the daycare 9 to 5,
Yeah.
and then or 7 to 5 some days.
Yeah.
But no, it's just learning to, I don't know, just support unconditionally, and just help Kara get your own space. And
What do you mean by own space?
well, just being able to, I don't know, just letting you be creative, letting you say you want to go sit in the bedroom, or you want to go to your desk downstairs, your little office. It's just like when when we were first together, when it was the kids were only with us a week at a time, and now we got Elena, so just kind of
learning the balance of family life.
Yeah, balance family life. And no, for me, like I was used to being able to coach my son, and or stuff like that. And but it's just learning to be unselfish. Selfless.
Yeah.
Unselfish. Same thing, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, and it's just helping out when I can, and even if I don't understand what she's doing, just go with it.
Well, it's not necessarily just going with it, because this is actually a great segue into a conversation, because that was one of the biggest things for Chris and I when I really started diving into this entrepreneurial space. Is he was asking me questions of kind of when are we going to see an income? When are things going to start happening? And when he said them, I took them offensively, but what he was actually trying to mean was he was wanting to see things come into fruition for me. And he wanted things to be successful. Am I correct?
Like it's just as it's just kind of, it was hard to, it was just kind of hard to see Kara just doing all these classes and doing all these certificates and doing hours and hours and hours of this training, and it just not coming to fruition, or not paying out for her. But I could just see her drive, so it was just trying to do my best to help her out. And I guess hint to, if guys are listening to this, don't ask, or I guess if ladies too, if your husband's an entrepreneur, don't ask when money's going to start getting made. That does not work out good.
No.
But no, it's just like Kara said, it was just I didn't mean it the way that it got taken across, but most time I don't explain myself good enough. So
well, it's not that you don't explain yourself well enough. I'm a female, you're a male, and we've been learning how to communicate together. Thank you. We have been learning how to communicate on a different scale together.
Yeah.
And so, and also in regards to when you were talking about the financial situations, or when you were seeing me get become a little stressed about the things that were happening, I remember having a conversation with you, because you didn't necessarily fully understand what I was doing or what it was. And I had to explain it to my husband in this way, of that I support you unconditionally in the career that you have chosen, because yes, we called it a 9 to 5, but my husband has a career, and he loves his career, and he loves what he does, and he's passionate about what he does. And if you get into a room with anybody who knows him, knows that he's passionate about what he does. And so I said to him, I don't understand crop and hail insurance. I don't really understand insurance for that matter. And I don't understand all the numbers and the charts that you create, or the slides, or the presentations that you make. But I don't question your capability of what you're able to do in the business and in the area that you work in. And he basically said, well, that true. And so I said that, you know, it's not fair for him to try to like wrap his mind around something that I'm doing when I don't necessarily know what he's doing. It's just basically loving and supporting from afar and not knowing exactly what it is. What?
But it's like being a male. I want to be a fixer.
Yeah.
I want to do what I can, even if I don't totally understand it, but I want to do what I can to seeing Kara succeed, or seeing you succeed, or seeing you happy. And then sometimes when first started out, and it was just kind of like head hitting wall over and over again a little bit. It was just like sometimes it's just, what can I do to like help you
alleviate stress,
and like, so yeah, sometimes what I was saying didn't come across properly because like for me, like it's always, I've never done the entrepreneur thing. Like I worked for a family business, but I was from my grandpa started it a long time ago. So it's just, kind of got lost in my own thoughts there, but
okay.
no, but it's just like I didn't totally understand, so what I was saying didn't come across properly. But it's just like, so instead of just making statements, I needed to do a better job of kind of explaining what I was coming, like how I was coming across. And
well, and when you say a better job at coming across, like that's how you interpret it. I just wanted you to be able to communicate with me about the questions that you had surrounding what I was doing. And when he says hitting his head against the wall or having moments like that, there was a lot of growth for me that I had to go through, and I talked to him about that. And actually, we could talk about that whole growth piece too. I want to talk about that, but now I'm gonna get lost in my own thoughts in regards to this. But that's what I was gonna talk about. What I was gonna talk about was you talked about how, you know, the masculine energy. Well, the masculine energy is like the fix it energy. You want to fix it. The feminine energy is very nurturing. It's this ease and flow. And so when I have a problem, when I'm communicating that with you, like as a woman, I just want to be able to vent to you, but you're not the person who's like, yes, let's listen to all the girl talk. You want to fix that, but I don't necessarily need you to do all that fixing. And so
that took a while for me to understand.
But what was I going to talk about in regards to?
You're going to talk about growth or whatever. You're going to talk about.
Oh, yes. Okay. So when I also, you know, for any women who are listening and their other half might not necessarily be supportive or is concerned about what they're doing, sometimes it actually comes from a space of like a hell of a lot of love, but also out of their own fear. And I know that you'll be able to talk about this a little bit, but when I started really diving into like my personal development, my personal growth, and really growing as a woman and as a mother, you had come up to me and said to me that you were worried that I was going to grow out of love with you.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who are listening, can you share why you thought that?
Well, I don't know, just, I guess, like for myself, like I just don't see myself like you see me, I guess. So, but it's just like, so this the big fear that went through my mind is is she trying to better herself because she's not happy with me, or if she's not happy with what's going on, or what am I doing that's not making her happy the way that she is? Why does she have to grow? Why does she have to do different things, I guess? So yeah, that was a fear of mine. But I know you settled it down, but yeah, you seemed pretty surprised when I said that. But no, it was just it just kind of went from like an insecurity in myself, but no, just thinking if she wanted to become better, was I worthy enough to have her, kind of thing too.
And, you know, when he brought this up to me, I was really surprised. I kind of looked at him like, what? Like, why would you ever think this? However, his thoughts are his own, and he's entitled to you know, to think what he chooses to think. And it was a moment that I needed to reassure my husband that no, that just my personal growth was going to allow me to love him and to love myself in such a different way, and it was going to impact positively our relationship in ways that he hadn't even seen yet, and that there was no way that I had ever even thought that, hey, I'm going to do this personal development so I can fall in love with my husband. That was never the intent or the thought. But a lot of people get scared of other people growing, and there's this actual, like, this growth doesn't come from comfort zones, and a lot of people want people to stay in their comfort zone so that they stay at the same pace as someone else because they don't want to grow. But that's not where you're at, though. Like, you've done in, you know, the many years that we have been together, there has been a lot of growth, a lot of transitions, a lot of transformation, a lot of things have happened in our life.
Yeah, Kara's dealt with what a lot of women shouldn't have had to, which definitely really appreciate.
It's a whole other podcast episode, guys.
Yeah,
but
marathon.
Yeah, but the same thing goes for you, is that there's things in life that I don't think that you should have had to go through, but we move through, we go through things, and everything happens for a reason. Like, I've always firmly believed that everything happens for a reason. But in regards to, like, me really embracing this entrepreneurship and, like, full steam ahead, you being extremely supportive, which I'm unbelievably grateful for, because I know that there's a lot of women that I've talked to who don't necessarily have the support from their husband or their spouse. So how has, like, our communication together, the investments that we've made together, how has this impacted our relationship?
I think it's helped us, like, grow even further, kind of thing, because it's giving that blind trust that like a lot of people don't, or that they feel they might give, but no, it's just it's kind of like that, and just like no, and with communication, like, my support might not come across as support all the time, and get into arguments just a little bit. But no, like, like it doesn't come across as, like, unconditional support sometimes, but no, it's just no, and it's just awesome too, because, like, it's made me understand and get to know Kara on a way different level too, because when I met her, she was working for a paramedic thing, and working out in a shack where you sat for 8 hours a day or longer.
You didn't just sit for 8 hours a day.
Some days you did.
Some days, yeah.
And some days your chair magically fell over.
What? Okay, he's totally getting off topic here.
Yes.
And I didn't just sit on my ass. Jeez.
No, but when I first met Kara, she was paramedic, and then well, little known to me, she lived in Moose Jaw.
I did. Yeah.
And then actually just moved back to Regina when we first met, but no, like it's just it's just helped me understand her on a way deeper level, because you actually get to see, like, the fire in her soul, and you got to see who she truly is compared to just going out and working a job. You're creating what you love, and it's just,
well, and some people are very fueled by the job or the career that they choose.
Yeah.
So I don't want to disempower anyone who's listening to this who works in a 9-to-5 and absolutely adores it. Like, I'm here for you and support you and encourage you and love you and hold the space for you, because that's what you love to do. I love this entrepreneurial space of creating the life that I've always desired. And things don't always go the way that I want them to go. And I've had to learn how to communicate with my husband, how to communicate with my kids, but it has impacted our relationship in ways that I can't even fully express. Like the programs that I've taken or the coaches that I've worked with, I've been able to have very personal discussions with them so that I can work through any sort of problem that occurs in our relationship. And so,
And it's just like with the different like the different like spirituality things that you're taking, different stuff like that. It gives you a lot different view of what's going on and how to look at different things rather than just looking straight ahead. There is things off to the side.
Well, there's many different paths.
Yeah.
Yes. And so what has been the most empowering thing for you to watch me go through in this, entrepreneurial space and me creating my business and my own office and all those things? What has been the most empowering thing for you?
I think like this podcast was a big thing for you.
Yeah.
And no, just being able to watch you creating this podcast, watching you create your website, creating all these different programs.
Yeah.
And just like you're talking to people from all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Just talking to finding some random person to talk to here.
Yeah.
No, but and it's just but no, it's just said I'm kind of rambling here, but the podcast, being able to see you get your website, see you like launching all these different programs, and just seeing you start to create the life that we want. And like we constantly talk about wanting an acreage, wanting horses, wanting all these different things.
Yeah.
And just seeing how you going hard on your computer, going hard on just like following what you truly love to build that future for us and help it. And just watching you from day one to now is just wow, amazing. I don't know if I specifically answered the question or not, but
you answered it the way it was supposed to be answered from you. There's no right or wrong way to answer questions on the podcast. It's just me and you are having an open conversation about...
You're not going to tell me I'm wrong?
Not on the podcast. So, I know that me and you had talked about like that one limiting belief that you had in regards to how if I was to continue to grow, that I would potentially fall out of love with you. Has there been any other limiting beliefs that you've felt for yourself in regards to me pursuing my entrepreneurial business, or even any limiting beliefs that you felt for me?
No, it's just
be open and honest about it. There's no, like I said, there's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah. No, like for me, like money was a big thing at the start.
Yeah.
That we got in arguments about, but no, because I didn't fully understand stuff, but I know just like constantly, like you, I don't know, like not understanding stuff. And
what do you mean by not understanding stuff, hon?
Not understanding the entrepreneurial mind, not understanding what you were trying to do.
Okay.
Not understanding like I don't think not understanding at that time what can actually come of this.
Yeah.
No, and okay, yeah, and you just kind of look at out of how many on entrepreneurs, only this amount make it.
Yeah.
And just like at the start, I think money was a big thing that we discussed it.
Mm-hmm.
And like at the start too, like I wasn't used to you doing things at nighttime, or you doing things when you could, or on weekends, or having different conversations scheduled for like a few times over the weekend or stuff like that. But I was understanding that like there's no set schedule.
Well, I'm creating more of an intentional schedule,
Yeah.
but there's been a lot of shifts,
Yeah.
a lot of changes, a lot of transitions.
Yeah. No, so it's just basically like the limiting beliefs were just, I was just scared that it wasn't going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And I was just mainly focusing on what could go wrong instead of what could flourish from this.
Yeah.
And no, but then I started coming around and seeing how it made you feel and all these different things, and not wanting to have to force you to do something that you don't love just because of money or something like that. But
yeah, I think there's been a lot of growth in regards to limiting beliefs that you and I have worked through, especially the financial limiting beliefs and the worry of like, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? When is it going to happen for us? Like, you know, me and you have had a lot of discussions about things that have impacted our relationship or our businesses. You know, we've had the conversation of unconditional support in regards to how I support you, and you've also expressed how you want to support me. And, you know, we've had some like ups and downs and some bumps in the road, really, but I think we've come a long way in regards to that. And so, you know, do you feel like you are supported from me?
yes. Yeah. No, yeah, like, well, example today. Yeah, like I had to go in early because I had to do some stuff, and I had to stay late from work because there was just stuff that didn't get done that that I needed to do. And no, yeah, like whatever I want to do. And yeah, like summertime care is like a freaking superhero, because no, like what my job entails in the summertime is going on the road. And Kara's got daycare, and Elena and Jackson and Olivia some weeks, and it's just, it's just
Plus a business.
Yeah, plus a business, plus no, and it's just, she just does everything with, well, most of the time a smile on her face, but no, I forget what we were talking about now.
We've been talking about quite a few things, Chris. That's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, if you don't really know which way you're going with it, that's okay.
What was the question,
though? In regards to you feeling supported.
Oh, yeah, you just, like I get supported on whatever I want to do, and sometimes we have arguments when things come up last minute.
Yes, well, and even today, you guys, like, you know, he's saying that I can be super supportive, and I've tried to be, and there's days where I'm not. And I've really tried to kind of check myself when I do have those days. But even today, when he had called me to tell me that he was running behind and then he'd be running late, I at first was just like a little agitated, just simply because our littlest was having like a rough afternoon. And then I kind of checked myself though, and I sent him a message after, and I said, you know, like, I'm not actually mad at you. I'm grateful for the fact that you have told me that you're running behind. And I'm grateful that you kept me informed, that you didn't just not show up at home. And I apologized for coming across the wrong way, because I'm also wrong sometimes. And like, I don't think there's been a point where I've not admitted to when I've done something wrong.
No.
Well, maybe. But most of the time, I feel like I've been pretty good at like apologizing for things that I've said or done. But that's a whole other conversation. But basically, this whole conversation with Chris is I just wanted to bring him on the podcast to talk about being a woman in the entrepreneurial space and having a husband who has a career that is very different than my own, and just the creative minds of, because he has an extremely creative mind, and
especially with comebacks.
yeah, and so do I. It's just, I wanted to, because I know that there's so many women who feel like they don't have support from their spouse. And there has been days where I feel like I don't have the support from my husband, but then there's been, I would say 90% of the time I do feel like I have support from him. And so I wanted to be able to ask him some questions and see how he feels supported, what has been the most empowering thing to watch him see in regards to our family life, my business. And I just wanted to bring him on the podcast because my husband is a big part of my life. And this has actually been something we've been talking about for a while, to have you on the podcast.
Yeah.
And are you nervous?
No. I guess maybe play my feet.
You deep breathe when you're really nervous too.
Yeah. No, and it's just, I kind of feel like I've been rambling a little bit, so
that's okay.
Sorry about that, but that's kind of how I roll.
Don't apologize for.
But no, just like the main message, I guess, from me is I always wasn't the from the very start 100%. Yeah, let's go. I had my limiting beliefs. I had my worries, but just being able to communicate about them and working through them has been enlightening. But no, and it's just amazing being able to watch you do what you want to do, and being able to being able to support you and helping it make it work.
And I appreciate you, and I love you.
Love you too.
Okay, guys, we're gonna cut this episode now. So thank you for being on the podcast, hon.
Welcome.
And to everybody else, I will see you guys all in the next episode. Bye, guys.